Now let's deal with our first story, and in it, planning and construction experts say persistent collapse of billboards at the slightest jolt is a threat to public safety. A severe rainstorm that hit Kumasi on Thursday, for example, left giant billboards tumbling and crashing into vehicles and other property. Security personnel rescued one person who was trapped in his vehicle for hours at Afonkwanta and sent him to the hospital. Northern Sector President of the Institute of Engineering and Technology, Richard Omarisafo, says city authorities and advertisers must broadly consult on the sighting of billboards across cities in Ghana. Nana Sensu-Mensah has more in this report.
Ghana Meteorological Agency predicts heavy rains accompanied by storm this year. It raises concerns about perennial floods and attendant danger to life and property. Public complaints about indiscriminate mounting of billboards have been premised on obstruction and other road safety concerns. Engineer Omari Safo charges local assemblies and advertisers should engage engineers and other construction experts in sighting billboards to avert danger.
Yes, there is the need for those media operators who put up these billboards, the companies, to come together with us as engineers. The local authorities, like the MMDs, the local government assemblies, need to join with us. As a matter of fact, they have an engineering unit, the works department there. But we feel that a lot needs to be done. They need to do a lot of supervision as to the billboards that the guys construct. Because the one who is casting that concrete, what we call the stanchion, and putting up all those bolts and nuts there, what is his competence base? Those are the things that we need to query, we need to look at, to see whether somebody is supervising the person. And that is where we also want to come in, to join with them in doing all these activities, so as the safety measures that we are looking at comes into play for the good of all.
Now, the National Road Safety Commission has outdoored 8 emergency first aid posts to provide post-crash care for accident victims. It's the first batch of 100 emergency response and first aid posts to be built at strategic locations along major highways across the country. Now, according to the Transport Minister, Kwekwe Siama, the posts funded by the World Bank are fully equipped and located at crash-prone areas on the Accra-Kumasi, Accra-Aflao and Accra-Takrady highways. He shared this at an event to launch the Road Safety Commission's 2019 National Easter campaign.
Within the framework of the National Road Safety Strategy, medical care for crash victims is a duty assigned to the Ghana Red Cross Society, the National Ambulance Service. They are required to administer first aid to crash victims as well as transport them to healthcare centers. The sad reality is that there's not enough capacity with these institutions to deal with emergency response. Though the Ghana Red Cross Society train volunteers within the areas identified as crash-prone corridors or communities, they are unable to provide shelter or office and other logistics to motivate the trained personnel to deliver on the expectation. The outcome is that crash victims are attended to either by late or by persons without the requisite training who innocently offer to help these victims but end up causing more harm, and in many cases death due to poor handling. Though the target is to install some 130 facilities, we are happy to inaugurate the first 8 while we step up the advocacy, believing that some public-spirited organizations and individuals will be encouraged by this gesture of the Red Bank to include in their corporate social responsibility the establishment of additional centers.
The governing New Patriotic Party has challenged the opposition NDC to prove its infrastructural record has been touted by the minority MP on the Finance Committee, Isaac Adongo, last week. The NDC's public lecture last Wednesday downplayed government's boast of running a strong economy among many other related issues. Mr. Adongo at the State of Ghana's Economy lecture argued former President John Dramani Mahama has an impeccable record in infrastructure development not comparable with that of the MPPs. But addressing a news conference on Sunday, the General Secretary of the MPP, John Boedu, insisted the Akufo-Addo government has performed better.
You may have heard the NDC in their Chalewote Town Hall meeting challenging the government to match their infrastructure record. Much as their 8 years inflated infrastructure record they tout is nothing but a complete charade. Let us all ask them to mention a single infrastructure they built in Ghana in the first 2 years from 2009 to April 2011. They should mention it to us. The first 2 years of President Mahama and Atta Mills. And again, the first 2 years, 2012 to 2014, they should mention any infrastructure that they managed to build. Just one. In just 2 years of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's government, we have a lot to show, with a lot more coming. Just this week, in fact, on Wednesday, the 10th of this month, government will launch the commencement of a $2 billion investment in infrastructure, 2/3 of which will be in roads and highways. We have securitized Get Fund receivables for $1.5 billion in school infrastructure projects. These projects are ongoing in every region of our country, and I can assure you, we have about close to 500 projects that within this year we'll be able to put up. The debate on infrastructure is an interesting one, and we welcome our NDC friends to it. We are inviting the NDC to this challenge, and we hope that they will accept. And John Mahama will have an excuse, say, oh, no, I was then the vice president. So when you were the president, 2012 to 2014, we also threw a challenge to
you. Politics. Right, now let's take you to the Upper West region, where its regional minister is asking heads of government and departments and agencies to eschew laziness, lateness to work, absenteeism, and corruption for the realization of Ghana beyond aid. Now, he's also tasked the heads of departments and agencies to ensure that their planned programs and projects are in sync with the policy agenda of the government. Dr. Hafiz bin Salih made the call when he met heads of departments and agencies in Wa. Rafiq Salam was there. Here's his report.
This was a meeting between Dr. Hafiz bin Salih and heads of the centralized departments since the former took over office as the 21st regional minister in 36 years of the creation of the Upper West region. The aim of the meeting was to outline the vision of the newly appointed minister, which is modeled out of that of the President of Ghana. Dr. bin Salih urged the heads of departments and agencies to ensure that their planned programs and projects are in sync with the policy agenda of the government. He admonished them to have a change in attitude towards work, without which he noted that the desired results may not be achieved.
Let's eschew laziness, lateness to work, absenteeism, and corrupt practices in our workplace, and with the abundance of resources in this country, we can realize the dream of Ghana beyond aid, as our president has envisioned within the shortest possible time. It is also my expectation that we will individually and collectively respond to the myriad of challenges confronting this region, in particular, in the nation at large.
Dr. bin Salih pledged to be transparent, open-minded, and will not victimize any in his dealing with the heads of the departments, and urge them to also do so.
I see all of us as one, whether you are a native of the Upper West or not, whether you are a Muslim or not, whether you are MPP or not. I see each of us as partners. Until you give me cause to suspect you, I have confidence in each one of you.
Deputy Apostle Regional Minister Amidu Chinya Isaku called on the heads of departments to cooperate and support the new minister to succeed.
In every system, when changes are made, the changes are meant to bring a difference. No president or no leader makes a change and expect the results to be the same. So now we have a new regional minister. The expectation of the president and the government and the people of Upper West is that if we're doing well, which I believe we're doing well, but we need to do more. Otherwise, the change will be meaningless. And for the new minister to effect that difference and make that change, your cooperation, your support is anticipated.
News. Well, let's end the news. But before we do that, access to potable water and sanitation are basic human rights and all are critical to sustainable development. That is why Goal 6 of the UN's Sustainable Development Goals demands that by 2030, countries achieve access to adequate and equitable sanitation and hygiene for all. Well, in the face of this, the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly has teamed up with Minsha South constituency in a cleanup exercise with a focus on achieving this SDG target. It is part of the 20-year anniversary celebration of the installment of the Asantehene Otumfuo II. Prince Apia was there. Our reports.
Choked gutters and bushy areas were desilted and cleared in a special cleanup exercise. More than 100 residents of the Minsha constituency and other parts of the Kumasi metropolis embarked on this exercise. Kumasi Mayor SANITATION reiterated the need to keep the environment clean and a bid to achieve the Goal 6 of the Sustainable Development Goals.
It was started by the assembly, but when the news started going out, then people started embracing it. And now look at the people around. You see, majority of them are youth. So when the majority of youth are getting the message right, then it means that the nation will have a future. Keep the city clean and green. The emphasis and the purpose was that if you catch them young, they grow with it. So now it is moving along from the school lines to the matured ones. So now if you go to the school children will be telling you, they will be rather whipping you to the slogan. And now my brothers have also joined in. Now the political parties have joined in.
The exercise was spearheaded by the Member of Parliament for Minsha South, who doubles as Education Minister, Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh. It forms part of programs to mark the 20 years anniversary celebrations of the Asantehene Otumfuo II. Officials say communities should not wait to be told to clean the environment in the face of growing insanitary conditions.
All various stakeholders, not only the MPs, should take it up. It's very important because look, the moment our surroundings are very dirty, it will go a long way to affect all of us. People are dying all because of small cholera, all right, dysentery. And I believe that if we day in and day out, we clean. Wherever you are, even in your own backyard, there might be something going on there. Don't wait for people to come and tell you that go and clean it up before you clean it up.
Meanwhile, the exercise will be repeated till the end of the anniversary celebrations.
We're going to replicate the exercise till Otumfuo ends his 20th anniversary. So, like you ask, everybody's here. I mean, we are here to help Otumfuo in the celebration of his 20th anniversary to make the...
Some residents and participants of the exercise say the cleanup is the least they can offer to make Otumfuo's anniversary grand. Prince Apia reporting.
That's it for the latest news headlines. But Kojo, we have more news. We'll be looking at the newspapers and a couple of stories would be getting our attention, I guess.
No doubt, no doubt. Of course, the aftermath of last week's lectures and town hall meetings are still very present in the papers. But there will be a rather interesting story about how individuals who the Daily Guide identifies as the killers, in quotes, of Ahmed Swali were nabbed by the police. All of that to come on the newspaper review. Don't go anywhere.